Going from open pit to underground, why it happens. Welcome to Australian Mining for New Starters, and in today's video I am going to go through that PowerPoint that I made a few weeks ago and just discuss the reasons why you'd go from an open pit to an underground, some of the different reasons. But first I'd just like to say congratulations to Junior, who got himself an Agi driver's job in Mount Isa, 2-1. He sent us a message through. I will share the message around in the next couple of days over all the social media, but I just wanted to say congratulations to Junior for doing the training, putting the work in and getting the job. Well done, mate. So let's have a look at this PowerPoint presentation. As we've already discussed in the last video, this is a cross section of a gold vein running down into the ground. So on the surface here you discover it, and then it sheds off, and then that way the little prospectors can come around and find out where it is, and then they drill it so they've got more of an idea of where it is, so they come and drill it on the surface, and then they start their open pit. So they take out the first chunk, and then they'll keep taking them out, and as you can see, it's expanding out. The deeper you go, the wider it has to get in the sides, or the steeper the sides have to get. And there comes a point where if you're down a certain, depending on how big your ore body is, and the bigger the ore body, the deeper you can go. But if this is a gold mine and the ore body's between 3 and 5 meters going down like this, there comes a point around the 150 meter mark, depending on how valuable, how much, what the gold's running at, how many grams per tonne's in the ore, that it just doesn't become profitable anymore. And you can see, if we wanted to go down any further here, you'd have to take all this out down here, and you're taking all this waste out just to get this little bit of ore in. And there becomes a price point where it's easier just to put the underground mine in straight in the bottom and develop your levels down and follow the ore body down using the underground mine, rather than having to take all this waste out. And the way it works is you just create your stope, which you learn about in the training and all that sort of stuff, but they're just taking this section out. And like I said in last week's video about all this, there's all these pits around the place that are in prime position to have undergrounds put on them. Now, I'm sure there'll be a couple of them that they've got a wider ore body where it might be feasible to come in and take, a little bit more out. So they might be able to open the open pit up for a year or two and take a whole heap more chunks out of the side to get down, as long as it's profitable. It's just all about what makes the most money for the gold mine. And often going to the underground, while it's more expensive to underground mine to open pit, just feasibility, there does become a point where the open pit becomes more expensive than the underground, and at that's the point where it's got to take more of this waste rock off the side to get deeper down. And so there becomes a point where it becomes more profitable to do it in the underground way. And the other reason that they do the underground is, we've already looked at this picture here, they've got quite steep walls going down here, and you can see there's been failure and there's been rock falls. That's the other reason that they go underground, because if the pit's starting to fall in, then taking more cuts and trying to make it bigger, there's a lot of work there. You've got to move a lot of tons from there and there to make all this wider so you can get more down the bottom. So at that point you'd be definitely looking at an underground. But the wider the ore body, the deeper you can go with your pit. If you've got a high grade narrow vein ore body like we've got here in the diagram, then you want to be turning that into an underground as soon as you get down to, normally it's about 150 meters to 120 meters, 150 meters, 180 meters, that sort of range. You'll see that a lot of the underground mines that you go to, the pits are only down that far. I've worked in a few where they're a lot deeper than that, but generally speaking, the ore bodies are quite narrow, and that's the reason, but high grade, but that's the reason why they go underground. It's just more bang for their buck, and that's why there's so many underground jobs going at the moment. And if you come over to Seek and you type underground in, you'll see all the jobs come up, and the jobs will really start to fly in the next week or so, as everybody's trying to replace everybody that's quit over Christmas in Snatchet season. But there's heaps of jobs there. You can see all the mining jobs here. We load them up on our mining jobs to apply for page. And if you want the training or the information to get into the industry, then check out our 3-step plan package. That one's got all the information that you need to make the industry work. If you want something that's a little bit cheaper, you can come over and have a look at our DIY Intro to Underground Mining course. That's a little bit cheaper. You don't get your resume. There's full instructions on how to redo your resume. With the 3-step plan, you get the team from Beyond to help you with your resume. If you really want some help and you want one of the shift bosses from Underground Training to help you, then have a look at the Work Ready one. That's the full service one where we help you. You get one of the shift bosses to mentor you, so to make sure that you've understood all the mining information. But there's heaps of work around the country. It's just a matter of making sure you understand how the industry works. It doesn't work. It's not a national system. It's all state-based. All the states follow the same sort of systems, but yeah, it's all controlled state-based, and everybody's got their own mines inspectorate in their own state. But there's heaps of work all over the country. You just got to educate yourself and go where the work is. That's the big tip that we can give you. But I hope you found that interesting about why they turn the open pit mines into hard rock underground mines. It's all about money. The whole mining industry is all about money. Don't let anybody tell you any other way. It's all about money and getting the best possible result you can for the least possible price. It's it is what it is from that perspective. But I hope you found that information helpful, and if you could share this information around and like and subscribe the channel. Thanks.